What's up, guys? Ian here, coach of your Ladner Lanturn, bringing you guys our Week 8 team builder, taking on Nathan and the new Mexico Lotad. Nathan graciously took over this team that was originally Dom's and made quite a few changes to it, but it retains sort of the same idea that Dom had for the team. It consists of Infernape, Necrozma, which is the absolute bane of my existence in this format, Silvally, Donphan, Skuntank, Ferroseed, Mega Kangaskhan, Toxapex, Jolteon, Lurantis, and Togekiss. Priority options, he's got the Infernape with Mach Punch, Vacuum Wave, Donphan with Ice Shard, Skuntank with Sucker Punch, Mega Kangaskhan with Fake Out and Sucker Punch, and Jolteon with Quick Attack. Hazard setting, he's got the Infernape with Rocks, Necrozma with Rocks, Donphan with Rocks, and Ferroseed with Rocks and Spikes, and Toxapex with T-Spikes. Removal options, he's got the Silvally with Defog, Donphan with Rapid Spin, Skuntank with Defog, Lurantis with Defog, and Togekiss with Defog, and he only has one 4x weakness, and that is the Ferroseed to Fire. Notably, his only Fairy Resist is the Toxapex, relevant Fairy Resist is Toxapex. Ferroseed is kind of an unmon in this matchup, so is Toxapex in my opinion as well. So I think that it's kind of opens the door for Mega Diancie, just having the Pokemon that look really garbage against my team, absolutely obliterated by by anything besides Mega Diancie, opens up a hole for Mega Diancie to sort of slot in there. So in terms of my team, starting off here with the Vaporeon, I've got a Synchronoise, Scald, Wish, and Haze Vaporeon. Synchronoise for the Toxapex. That was a really cool tech that I can't remember who suggested that. I believe it was Jed actually who suggested Synchronoise. It could have been Shade. Might have been Shade actually. Somebody suggested Synchronoise in call with me. I think it was Shade who suggested Synchronoise Vaporeon for the Toxapex. I like that a lot. I brought Haze as well for a potential Power-Up Punch Mega Kangaskhan, for a potential setup Necrozma, for a potential setup Infernape. I'm not really bringing hazards to the best of my knowledge, so Haze is a little bit more effective than Roar would be. And yeah, that's just sort of the reason for it. Excuse me. Scald still picks on a lot of stuff on the team, although I really wish that I had Toxic on this set. And maybe I'll change Haze to Toxic instead, unless I... Yeah, because I'm not packing Toxic over here. You know what? I can actually get rid of it because I have Clear Smog on that. So I will change it to Toxic last second here. Fully physically defensive Vaporeon. Synchronoise may or may not matter. I am going to take it off of the set and put Protect on. Or Roar on instead, sorry, because I have ways to hit the Toxapex outside of Vaporeon anyways, so it's pretty irrelevant if the Toxapex does anything to me. Next up is our Amoonguss. I'm running a bulky Amoonguss, physically bulky Amoonguss. This is mainly for the Mega Kangaskhan, but it can also really function as a really good Lurantis answer. It's actually quite a decent Jolteon sponge as well. Considering my team doesn't really handle Jolteon all that well, it's a nice neutral ground switch into that. Skuntank, for the most part, I can switch into. Same with Donphan. Infernape, not so much, but I could maybe get some really good chip on it, especially with max HP. If he clicks Flare Blitz, he's in a bad spot. So that's what's going on with the Amoonguss there. Spore just to get something to sleep. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a Safety Goggles mon coming. I don't give a flying fuck about Ferroseed in this matchup. I didn't prep at all for that Pokemon, so it could actually be quite annoying because I didn't prep for it even slightly, but I do think that it's not going to bother making an appearance here, and if it does, something a lot more valuable to his team isn't coming, so I would very much encourage Ferroseed or Toxapex to show up, because I really think I have both of them handled extremely well. Well, sorry, I've got the Toxapex handled extremely well, the Ferroseed not so much, but it would be better than seeing the Necrozma, because I fucking hate that thing with a passion. Sludge Bomb is there mainly for the Lurantis and the Togekiss, if I could ever break through. It's just really good stab. Clear Smog to get away any sort of setup that the Lurantis wants to go for, or really anything. Especially if the Togekiss wants to Nasty Plot in my face, I can just Clear Smog on it. I would probably do that before clicking Sludge Bomb the first time. And then I've got Giga Drain there for recovery. It's really nice recovery against things like Necrozma. Beats the Donphan down, beats the Kangaskhan down, beats the Jolteon down. Excuse me, we're not running mixed defensive Amoonguss, we're just running this variant, because my special wall this week is the Rotom-Frost. I'm running 0 HP on this for better pain splits, and I'm just running max Spadef. Pain Split, Discharge, Blizzard, and Defog. So Discharge is obviously there as a way to spread paralysis around on a couple of the faster mons, and just like in general get this team to be a lot slower. It's not as reliable as T-Bolt is in terms of damage, but it'll do the trick. Blizzard is there to hit the Jolteon. It'll also hit the Donphan that would want to switch on Discharges really. Lurantis too. Excuse me. Not much more I really need to say about running Dual Stab there. And then I've got Defog as well, so this is my removal option. Unluckily for me, I'm weak to rocks, but luckily for me, I have lefties and I've got Pain Split. So it shouldn't be that big of a problem. I'm actually going to change Discharge to T-Bolt now that I'm thinking about it, because I want to have Toxic on the Necrozma. I'd rather not paralyze it, I'd rather Toxic it. Garchomp's next. I'm running on Poison Z, Garchomp with Earthquake, Swords Dance, Poison Jab, and Rocks. So rocks going up are relatively important. They break the sturdy on the Donphan, which is clutch, but mainly they get good chip against the Togekiss. And really, it's good chip to put a lot of stuff in range of Chomp by themselves. Poison Jab and Z Poison Jab is exclusively there for the Togekiss, which otherwise would dodge Dual Stab. I have absolutely no reason to click Poison Z against anything else except perhaps the Lurantis, but I do have the Amoonguss to switch into Lurantis every single time. I opted out of bringing Dragon Claw because there's actually no Dragon on this team at all. So I didn't need Dragon Claw whatsoever, and Togekiss is the only flying Pokemon, so Earthquake will hit everything once I have the Togekiss killed with Z Poison Jab. Running out of speed on here for the base 100, which is the Mega Kangaskhan. Max attack, a little bit of HP. Mega DNC is next. I'm running a Sub Endeavor set, so this can, in theory, take on a Ferroseed at the same time. But honestly, this just kind of dents his team entirely. Like I mentioned prior, his only fairy resists are the Toxapex and the Ferroseed, and potentially, you know, like a Steel Volley or something like that. But in theory, Earth Power should be able to hit everything that would resist my Moonblast. So Moonblast plus Earth Power is perfect coverage against the team, plus Sub Endeavor. If I get into a scenario where I can ever click that, that'd be really nice. Weaken the Necrozma, things of that nature would be absolutely excellent. That is what I would love to see happen. Last but not least is the Hoopa-Unbound, Scarfed Hoopa with Psyshock, Dark Pulse, Hyperspace Fury, and Focus Blast. Yeah, so I am running a mix set here, and the reason for that, especially being timid, the reason for that is that Hyperspace Fury will be able to dent through a Calm Mind Necrozma if he opts to bring a Calm Mind Necrozma set. Besides that, I can kind of click Dark Pulse relatively freely. Focus Blast is there to hit the Skuntank, which I otherwise just would not be able to touch. It's also a really nice way to hit the Mega Kangaskhan and the Ferroseed. Turns out that a max special attack Scarf Hoopa-Unbound has no chance to KO a Mega Kangaskhan anyways, so I'm only running enough to KO Mega Kangaskhan after Rocks with Focus Blast, and then I put the rest into bulk because there was no reason to run any other value. Besides that, I didn't really need the damage for anything else anyways. So, things on my list. I would absolutely love to not see Infernape and Skuntank. Those would be absolutely ideal scenarios. Not Infernape, Necrozma and Skuntank. Necrozma, Skuntank, and Ferroseed, I would love to not see anything else. I would be perfectly okay with. Silvally is kind of an unmon by itself. Lurantis, I've got really good checks for. Togekiss, I could handle, but would be annoying. Jolteon, same sort of thing. Infernape, same sort of thing. Kangaskhan, I think I've got covered. Donphan, I think I've got covered. Toxapex, I think I've got covered. I'm outspeeding the Togekiss. I should say I'm speed tying Scarf Togekiss with this Hoopa, and Psyshock hits it better. Psyshock will also be able to hit the Necrozma if I ever find myself hitting the Necrozma with this, and he's a Calm Mindset, then Psyshock will be better than Dark Pulse there. Although granted, that's the whole point of me bringing Hyperspace Fury, so, you know, take that as you will. I've got to be wary of Infernape's U-turn. Besides that, there's not a whole lot else that gets bug coverage. It's like Signal Beam from Necrozma, Signal Beam from Jolteon, and I think that's actually it. Nothing else really gets bug coverage on the team. Or U-turn on Silvally as well, but it's pretty minimal bug coverage for my Hoopa. I think he's going to focus a lot more on ice coverage for the Garchomp. I think he's going to run like HP Ice, U-turn on the Infernape. I could definitely see a Scarf Infernape set coming more than a setup variant. I think that it makes a lot more sense against my team when I've got things that'll outspeed it, like a Starmie, and blow it back. Mega Diancie will outspeed it and blow it back. both of which Mach Punch won't kill it +2, or a Vacuum Wave won't kill it +2 if he's a Nasty Plot variant. Talonflame will also not die to either of those and be able to revenge kill it fairly easily. So I do think that it is in his best interest to maybe just run like a 4 attacks Infernape, possibly U-turn close combat, although I'm not sure why he would need that. He probably doesn't need close combat, probably like U-turn, Flare Blitz, Thunder Punch, HP Ice perhaps, or maybe HP Flying, well, maybe not. Yeah, probably HP Ice, maybe HP Steel. But that's what I would predict the Infernape set to be. Necrozma, I have no fucking clue. I hate that Pokemon with a passion, like I said before. Kangaskhan, probably Power Punch, return Ice Punch, maybe? Or some variant of HP with an HP Flying set, maybe, because Buzzwole otherwise would be really good switching to it. Buzzwole actually did look really good here in terms of what I'm not bringing. Biggest problems being the Necrozma and the Infernape. Buzzwole definitely would have been my 6th choice if I had to, or my 7th choice if I had to choose the 7th, because it breaks through a lot of this stuff. Togekiss is quite annoying as well, which is why I think Togekiss is definitely coming because of the Buzzwole there. Bronzong didn't look horrible, but didn't look great either. Skuntank just kind of comes in for free on it. Same with Infernape. It's setup fodder for the Mega Kangaskhan, but it is a nice way to deal with the Necrozma if he doesn't have Dark Pulse. Oh god. Talonflame, besides the Jolteon, looked really good. But I can't bring everything, right? I just think this is a matchup heavily stacked in my favor for the most part. Masquerain, I didn't need webs against this team. There's pretty much no reason for me to have webs except to like scout a Scarfer, and then even then he could just be Scarf Togekiss and it wouldn't matter. Setup variant looked okay, kind of, to beat down the Necrozma a little bit better, but besides that, you know, it required a lot of chip. That's kind of the whole idea with Masquerain, I think, this season, is that I'm either going to bring it for webs or I'm not going to bring it at all. And then Starmie didn't look that great. My apologies. The phone is ringing in the background, and my laundry is probably going to be finished at some point. Just give me one sec. Oh god, of course it's Big Brothers. Okay, well that's all I had to talk about in terms of the team builder, so hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I will catch you guys for the match.